Praise the Lord, though. Our Senate have finally approved the transmission of results from polling unit to IREV using BVAS. They went for that to say that where there are issues with network that day, that Form EC8A can be submitted and used to declare results from that polling unit. And many of you are still putting your mouth wow to shout and complain that they have not tried. Have you been to my village? No, let me ask you. Have you been to my village? In my village, there are no network at all. Like, no network. Have you been to Idumota, Ladipo, Alaba, or any other clustered place in Nigeria? You will agree with me that they usually have network issues in places like this. I don't know if it has happened to you before. The last time I went to Idumota, I was trying to make a WhatsApp call and it wasn't going through because my network was down. A few persons I asked agreed that their network also had issues until one man asked me, what network are you using? And when I told him, he said, use so network now. And then it dawned on me that it wasn't a general issue, that the network he was using was actually at that point better than mine, and he had network. So he had to hotspot me to do what I wanted to do. So it leads me to ask, what if on that day it decides to rain cat and dog in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kano, and even Onitsha after you have casted your vote? And you know the kind of network we use here in Nigeria. Once the weather changes, the network changes with the weather too. Will you say they have not tried? Now you have seen that in this age and time when there are fiber active networks that does not fluctuate with the weather. Okay, what if on that day all the network providers in Nigeria gets approval from NCC to go on a compulsory maintenance? What will you do? What will we do? The 1 point something trillion naira that have been budgeted for election matters, what is it used for? And how much does it take to install a fiber active network on those devices that will be used to carry out election on election day? Or I told you that there's no network in my village, but there is Airtel. Now let me say this and say this clear. Whilst we are waiting for the harmonization that 12 senators have been appointed to liaise with Federal House of Rep members to make this happen, we are saying there shall be no what if. If it will take the masses to provide Wi-Fi networks that day, we are ready. If it will take us to hotspot them on that day, we will do it. We'll provide Wi-Fi, we'll provide them, we'll provide solar, whatever they need to ensure that electronic transmission takes place. That is what we'll do. So we are taking off that clause that if network decides to, Nigerian network can never be trusted. That's on one hand. And then secondly, every well-meaning Nigerian, this is when to hit the street. Every well-meaning Nigerian should no longer support or be a voice amplifying that Nigeria will never get better or that elections cannot be free and fair in Nigeria or amplifying every other form of negativity. It is now time to begin to do what these politicians know how to do best. Everybody should now begin to preach the gospel in their own locality, in their own neighborhood. And since I started joining my church evangelical team to go out for evangelism, I have seen how they used to do it. Many of these people will not listen to you if you do not give them food. And that is what our politicians are very good at doing. They keep plunging us into perpetual poverty so that when they stretch out their hand to give us that stipend, we will always fall for it. So what we are now going to be doing is we will now begin to go outside our neighborhood, our locality, to begin to preach the gospel and tell these people what they need to know. Wherever you find the opportunity, please sensitize people. It won't be bad if you add snacks and give them the that they usually transport themselves and go to fight at campaign rallies to get, so that they will listen to us and make them understand that supporting good governance and the right people to come into political position will favor them more. Because in the last 2 years since this government entered, I've seen more beggars than I have seen in my lifetime in Nigeria. Many people can no longer fend for themselves. Many people can no longer afford food. So this is the point where you begin to tell them that if you want your life to get better, or that even you yourself now, you can afford a good accommodation, you can afford good food, and you can even afford to buy yourself a car if you support the right government and everyone have a level playing ground. So let us come together and make this thing work. Well done to the guys that have amplified this Occupy NAS and made sure there was an emergency meeting where this has been approved. We can do more. So let the voice keep going up. We are not accepting what if. I hope this meets us well, because now this be the problem. Thank you.